Have you ever sat in front of the screen, frozen? Not because you don't know what the chart says, but because your mind is screaming three things at once? Cut the loss. Wait, maybe it'll reverse. No, double down, don't be weak. That's not strategy. That's emotional chaos. And if that sounds familiar, then this video might be the most important one you watch this year. Because here's the hard truth no one tells you. Most traders don't fail because they lack knowledge. They fail because they can't manage their own brain when money's on the line. I've coached hundreds of traders, from Wall Street interns to full-time crypto grinders. And whether it's a $200 account or a $2 million portfolio, the pattern is the same. They overtrade, they revenge trade, they size up too soon. They win big, then lose bigger. Why? Because they've mastered candlesticks, but not themselves. In this video, I'm not giving you another indicator. I'm not selling you some magic system. Instead, we're going deep into the psychology of trading, the kind that separates the amateurs who burn out from the professionals who last decades. You'll discover why your brain betrays you in the middle of a losing trade, how Amygdala Hijack is silently destroying your P&L, 5 practical tools to stay calm, even when the market gets violent, the mindset shift that turns emotional chaos into strategic calm. No fluff, no hype, just the real stuff. The battle-tested tools that I wish someone gave me in my first 5 years of trading. So before we dive in, ask yourself this. Am I trading to win a trade or to win the long game? Do I want profits or peace? Because what we're about to decode isn't just about trading better. It's about thinking better, living better, becoming the kind of person who trades with clarity, not panic. Let's begin. You versus you, the hidden battle in every trade. Let's face it, your biggest enemy in trading is you. It's not the market, not the hedge funds, not the algorithm that wickedly stopped you out by half a pip. It's your fear, your greed, your desperate need to be right. And I'm not saying this from a book. I'm saying it from the battlefield where I've watched traders, smart traders, burn through accounts not because they didn't know what to do, but because they simply couldn't do it when it mattered most. Here's the thing no one wants to admit. Most traders don't fail because their strategy is wrong. They fail because they can't follow it. They get spooked out of good trades. They jump into setups they never planned. They hold on too long praying instead of managing risk. And worse, when they lose, they don't stop. They fight back. They double down. They revenge trade. Sound familiar? It should, because every trader, no matter how experienced, has met that version of themselves. The one who knows better, but does worse. And here's the real kicker. The more intelligent you are, the more dangerous this can get. Why? Because smart traders rationalize poor behavior. They justify breaking rules. They think they're the exception. But the market doesn't care how smart you are. It rewards discipline, not intellect, not emotion, not gut feeling. So let me ask you, how many times have you told yourself, just this once, it'll come back? I can't end the day red. How many times have you placed a trade, not because it was in your plan, but because you were chasing a feeling? This is emotional chaos, and it's the #1 killer of trader accounts, trader confidence, and trader careers. Here's the brutal truth. If you don't deal with this inner enemy, no system will save you, no indicator will calm you. No risk to reward ratio will stop you from sabotaging your own trades. You don't need a better entry, you need a better inner game, because the real battle isn't on the chart, it's in your mind. And until you conquer that, you'll keep fighting yourself, even when the market stands still. Brain hijacked, why logic fails in trading. So now you know the enemy isn't out there. It's not the chart, it's not the broker. It's the part of you that panics, that chases, that freezes. But why? Why is it so hard to stay rational when you're in a trade? Let's talk brain science for a second, because once you understand this, everything starts to make sense. Inside your brain, there's a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It's responsible for detecting threats, and it's lightning fast. It evolved to keep us alive. When a tiger jumped out of the bush 10,000 years ago, the amygdala didn't wait. It yelled, "Run." Today, the tiger's gone, but the amygdala is still there. And guess what it thinks is a threat now? A red candle, a losing position, a spike against your trade. Your emotional brain kicks in before your logical brain even gets a chance to speak. This is what neuroscientists call an amygdala hijack. You felt it before. That moment when price moves fast and suddenly your heart races. Your hands get sweaty. You can't think straight. You either slam the exit button or double your position without blinking. That's not strategy. That's survival mode. And survival mode has no place in trading, because in survival mode, your brain is trying to avoid pain, not make smart decisions. Here's what's wild. Even when you know your plan, even when you see your setup, your brain can still override everything with a single wave of fear or greed. This is why knowing the rules isn't enough. You have to train yourself to stay present and composed, even when your brain is screaming at you. Let me give you an example. One of my students, let's call him Alex, had a solid system. He'd backtested it, journaled it, and built real conviction. But the moment he saw a trade go $150 in the red, he'd cut it every time, even when the system said to hold. Why? Because his nervous system was louder than his logic. It took us weeks of mindset work, breathing drills, and pre-trade rituals to help him stay in the pocket, emotionally and mentally. Now he lets the trade breathe. He follows the process, and yes, he's finally consistent. Here's the truth no one teaches in trading courses. Your emotions are faster than your intelligence. And unless you slow the system down, the system will own you. That's why in the next part, we're not just going to talk about discipline in theory. We're going to equip you with 5 battle-tested tools that elite traders use to neutralize emotion before it hijacks their mind. Because you don't just need a better plan, you need a calmer brain. Let's build it. From reaction to precision, tools to take back control. Now that you understand the emotional hijack, here's the next question. What can you do about it? Because awareness is great, but tools are what actually change behavior. And in this part, I'll give you 5 real practical strategies that elite traders use to go from panicked reaction to calm execution. 1. Pre-trade rituals warm up the mind. No athlete walks into a game cold. No sniper pulls the trigger without locking in. So why should you jump into the market the moment you sit down? Before you trade, take 5 minutes. Journal how you feel. Review your playbook. Ask yourself, am I here to follow the plan or feed the ego? Breathe. Center yourself, because the market doesn't reward speed, it rewards clarity. 2. Rule-based systems. Clarity over emotion. Your system must tell you exactly what to do. No guesswork, no wiggle room. If X happens, I do Y, otherwise I do nothing. Why is this so powerful? Because ambiguity is the gateway to impulsiveness. When the rules are vague, your emotions will fill the gap. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your rules. So write them down, make them binary, make them real. 3. Position sizing that lets you sleep. Here's a hard truth. If your trade size makes you sweat, it's too big. Trading is not about excitement, it's about emotional neutrality. If you feel like your heart's on the line every time you enter a position, you're not managing risk. You're gambling with your nervous system. Trade a size that feels almost boring, because boring is repeatable, and repeatable builds consistency. 4. Losses are data, not drama. Most traders treat losses like personal failures, but in reality, a loss is just a line of data. Did you follow the plan? Was it a high probability setup? If yes, then it's a valid loss. Accept it, log it, move on. Emotionally mature traders don't judge trades by outcome. They judge by execution quality. Detach your identity from every trade, because you're not your P&L. You're the process behind it. Self-audit. Reflect before you repeat. At the end of each trading session, ask 2 questions. 1. Did I follow my plan? 2. Where did emotion interfere? This is how you close the feedback loop. Not just tracking profit, but tracking behavior. Because in the long run, the traders who journal their decisions review their reactions, and refine their mindset, they're the ones still near 10 years from now. Calm, precise, profitable. None of these tools are glamorous, but they're what separate impulsive traders from professional ones. And no, you won't master them in a week, but you don't need perfection. You need commitment, because the market doesn't need you to be brilliant. It needs you to be consistent. Next up, we'll talk about the strategic calm mindset, the way professionals think when they're in a trade, and the invisible belief system that guides them under pressure. Because tactics get you started, but mindset is what keeps you in the game. Let's build that next. The calm sniper mindset. Trade like a pro. At this point, you've got the tools. You understand the chaos, but tools are only as effective as the mindset behind them. Because here's a truth few traders talk about. You can't out-strategize a reactive mind, but you can build a calm, focused one. This is what I call the strategic calm mindset. It's the way professionals think, the silent framework behind every patient entry, every disciplined exit. And it's not about being fearless, it's about being unmoved. Let me paint you two traders. Same market, same setup. One panics, one waits, sees price push against him and yells internally, "Cut it, get out before it gets worse." The second sees the same thing and thinks, "This is within parameters, my stop is set, my plan is valid. Wait." Who do you think survives? This calm isn't natural. It's trained. It's chosen. And it's rooted in a shift most traders never make, from outcome-based thinking to process-based thinking. Let me explain. An outcome-based trader thinks, I need this trade to win. I can't afford another loss. I must grow this account fast. Every decision is tied to a result they don't control. Now contrast that with a process-based trader. Did I follow my system? Was this setup part of my playbook? Did I manage risk correctly? See the difference? One creates anxiety. The other builds consistency. Because here's the thing. You can't control the market, but you can control your decisions. And once you make that your identity, the pressure fades. Let me give you a line that changed my entire career. I'm not here to win every trade. I'm here to execute flawlessly. When I made that shift, I stopped fighting the market and started flowing with it. I traded less, I waited more, and ironically, I won more. Why? Because I stopped needing the market to validate me. I built a system, I trusted it, and I stayed calm even when the noise got loud. So let me ask you, how would your trading change if you fully embraced that idea? If you stopped measuring success by how much you made today and started measuring it by how well you followed your edge? This is the mindset behind every great trader I've ever met. And no, it doesn't come from motivation. It comes from repetition, self-awareness, quiet discipline, day after day. Because ultimately, the real edge in trading isn't your setup, it's your state. And when your internal state becomes calm, sharp, and process-driven, you become dangerous in the best way possible. In the next part, I'll share a real story. A trader who had all the skills, but none of the calm, and how shifting his mindset saved not only his account, but his career. Because psychology isn't theory, it's real, it's personal, and sometimes it's the only thing that makes the difference. Let's go there. The comeback, one trader's mental reset. Let me tell you a story, not theory, not a hypothetical, a real story from a trader I mentored. Let's call him Jason. Jason wasn't new. He'd been trading crypto full-time for about 2 years. Smart guy, analytical, obsessed with backtesting, data, precision. When we first met, his system was solid. Risk management was tight. His strike rate over 60%. In just 3 months, he tripled his account. And then he lost it all in less than 2 weeks. What happened? He started winning too fast, too easily. Then came the mindset shift, subtle but deadly. He stopped journaling, skipped his pre-trade checklist, started sizing bigger because I've earned it, ignored his stop losses because I know where this is going. And when one position reversed hard, he didn't cut it. He doubled down, then again, because his ego was in control now, not his plan. And just like that, months of gains vanished. When Jason came back to me, he wasn't asking for a new system. He had one. What he needed was to rebuild himself. I asked him one simple question. What kind of trader do you want to be? The one who feels in control, or the one who's always reacting? That was the moment it clicked. He didn't need more indicators. He needed identity realignment. So we rebuilt everything around mindset and behavior. We stripped back position size until it felt boring. He did journaling before and after every session. He rated his trades not by profit, but by process compliance. Some days, he'd take no trades at all, and that was a win. He rewired his brain to enjoy discipline more than dopamine. 6 weeks in, he wasn't just profitable, he was consistent, calm, unemotional, the kind of trader who doesn't chase, doesn't force, just executes. Here's what Jason taught me, and what I now pass to every trader I work with. You don't rise to your best day, you rise to your average behavior under pressure. Jason didn't win because he found the perfect strategy. He won because he stopped being at war with himself. He stopped needing every trade to be right. He started trusting the system. He built habits that aligned with the trader he wanted to become. And the lesson for you? You can have talent. You can have the perfect entry, but if your mindset isn't aligned, it will all burn sooner or later. What saved Jason wasn't luck. It wasn't even skill. It was self-awareness, followed by self-leadership. So now the real question is, what kind of trader are you building? Because in the final part, we'll go even deeper, beyond trades, beyond tools, into the identity and long-term thinking that separates short-term wins from lifetime mastery. Let's talk about how to stop trading like a gambler and start evolving like a professional. Play the long game, build the trader's identity, not just results. Let's zoom out beyond this week, beyond this quarter, beyond the next perfect trade. Ask yourself, are you here to win today or to trade for the next 10 years? Because the traders who last, the ones who turn this game into a career, they think differently. They're not chasing excitement, they're building identity. They don't just want profit, they want peace. Most traders lose not because they lack knowledge, but because they have a short-term mindset in a long-term game. They obsess over one losing trade. They panic over a red week. They over-leverage to get it back. But professionals, they play the long game. One trade doesn't define me. I don't need to be right. I need to be consistent. Success is a reflection of habits, not outcomes. They've detached from the noise. They've redefined what winning means. And here's the shift that changes everything. Stop thinking like someone trying to make money fast. Start thinking like someone trying to become a master over time. Let me be clear. This mindset isn't sexy. It's not going viral on TikTok. But it's what makes you dangerous in the best way. Because when the market goes wild and everyone else is emotional, you're calm, you're structured, you're unmoved. You've built a system that's stronger than the storm. Here's how it looks in real life. You plan your week, even if no trades come. You track behavior, not just balance. You study losses without ego. You walk away when it's not your setup. And most importantly, you stop treating trading like a casino and start treating it like a craft. Let me leave you with a line I tell every trader I mentor. If you build the identity of a strategic, calm, disciplined trader, the profits will eventually follow. But if you chase profits, you'll destroy both the money and the mindset. So the question becomes, who are you becoming through trading? Not just, how much did I make today? But did I act like the trader I want to be 5 years from now? Because that question rewires everything. In the final moments of this video, I'll wrap everything into one simple idea. One truth that changed my trading and might just change yours. Because what we've covered so far, it's not just about markets, it's about mastering yourself. Let's close with that. So let's bring it all together. We started with emotional chaos, that rush of fear, greed, and confusion that hijacks so many traders. We exposed the real enemy, not the market, not the news, not the charts, but you and how your brain reacts under pressure. Then we decoded why logic fails, why your amygdala takes over, and how your instincts, meant to keep you alive, can actually sabotage your trades. But we didn't stop there. We built tools, we practiced rituals, we reframed mindset. We saw how calm isn't passive, it's powerful. That discipline is not just control, it's freedom. We followed Jason's journey, from glory to disaster to transformation. And finally, we looked at the long game, not how to win the next trade, but how to win the rest of your life through clarity, patience, and identity. Now, here's what I want you to remember. You don't conquer the market. You conquer your mind, and when you do, the market becomes manageable, predictable, even boring. And that's when you start winning. The greatest traders I've ever known weren't emotional geniuses. They were consistent executors. They showed up, they stayed calm, they followed through. And if you're watching this, you're already ahead of most, because you're no longer just chasing gains, you're building you. So now what? Start simple. Choose one ritual, audit one session, trade one day like a professional, not for profit, but for process. And if you can do that, if you can repeat that, you're no longer trading emotionally. You're trading strategically. You've gone from chaos to calm, from guessing to growth. And I promise that shift, that's the real edge. If this video opened your eyes, like it. Drop a comment below. What's the one emotional habit you're working to change? Subscribe if you're ready to build the mindset of a real trader, not just a fast one. I've also put together a free pre-trade mindset checklist you can download right now. Links in the description. Use it every morning. Use it every time your hands shake before a trade. Let it anchor you. Because this is the mission, to trade with calm, with clarity, with conviction. Not for the high, but for the long haul. Discipline beats dopamine every time. Thanks for watching. Stay strategic, stay calm. See you in the next one.